So I was watching this space, or I was listening to a space on Twitter earlier, and it was from this company called Bunsen and Beaker. It's a page run by these two. It's not run by the dogs, but it's about these two dogs, science dogs, evidently, and yeah, they've got all this like dog content, and I love it. But it was like people that were essentially talking business, talking shop, and the title of the space was "Please stop liking tweets. It does nothing for content creators." And obviously, what they mean by that is stop just liking. Yeah, no, the dogs run it. And it was all barking and I couldn't understand it, but there was a translator. So, essentially, the gist of it is just liking content, just liking TikToks, liking tweets, liking Instagram posts. It does nothing. It actually does nothing. Same with TikTok lives. It unfortunately has no effect. And it's because those platforms have become so oversaturated with just simple likes. The like is the default, and so what matters more to the algorithm is actual engagement, shares, comments, conversations, like quality comments too, not just like emoji comments. Which a lot of people, they'll be like, "I'll just leave a fucking like a heart or something," and then they'll move on. Which is as good as a like. It does nothing. And so obviously you want people to like your content, but you want them to like it more. Like you want them to like it enough to engage with it. Because the actual like button doesn't do anything anymore. But yeah, I mean, there are fucking trillions of fucking likes every day, and so how can you make it track that and essentially put forth any kind of quality content in front of anyone? You really can't. You basically have to do it by other measurable, like more easily measurable points. Metrics rather. And so the easiest one is obviously just how long are people spending looking at this? How long are people engaging with it? Do they come back and engage with it more? Do they share it with others? Do those people then turn around and also share it? Those are the kinds of things that matter. Whereas just liking it and then moving on could just mean, yeah, I like this person, I like the creator, I don't really give a fuck, but I'm just gonna like it just because, which is what it actually tends to be. I like the creator, I like whatever they're doing, I support them, so I'm gonna send them a like, but it doesn't do anything. So I was just kind of idly listening to that space earlier, and it got me thinking. It's nothing that I didn't already know, but it just made me think about it again, which, for better or worse, I guess. It's like that's why I'm doing what I'm doing on TikTok, is like I want people to actually engage and share, rather, and comment, like good quality comments, rather than just like being like, hey, I like this. It's like, I'm glad you like it, but can we talk about what you like about it so I can do more of that? Or is there anything that we can do to sort of make it better? Get out of the fucking way. Stupid ass, watch where you're going. Because like that's what's going to drive me forward. And that's what I'm, unfortunately, just in the sort of, in this environment, like I need to continue growing or I just stagnate. I don't do anything. Like eventually, if I don't continue growing, I just die. Because I'm not large enough to rest. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, you need to take a break, you need this and that. I know that I do, but I can't afford to. Or I just don't feel like I'm in a place where I can afford to, which is why I don't. I would love to take a break. I would love to take it easy and just sort of relax. But like, for the most part, even if I'm just chilling and playing games, I use it to create content, and to engage and get people just hang out. You know, so there's no, even something like just playing video games is work. You know, when you sort of put it like that. And yeah, I read an article in the Washington Post about Tyler One. Tyler One, one of the biggest remaining pure League of Legends streamers. I mean, he streams some other stuff, but for the most part, League of Legends is what he streams. And his existence is just miserable. And he's a self-made fucking millionaire. He streams, what's up, buddy? He streams 50 hours a week, to like minimum requirement 200 hours a month, to keep his sponsors. And if you think about it, it's insane. There's such a tremendous strain that people who are only looking at the money aspect of things, just like it's hard to appreciate. It's really hard to appreciate the situation because you're like, well, you're a millionaire though. Like, how hard is it? Why are you complaining so much? Like, it's all you do is you play video games. But you subject yourself to the public eye 25 fucking 8. Obviously less so with me because I don't, you know, I keep a lot of details personal and private. But for his situation, like, people know all about his fucking life. And what they don't know, they'll just make shit up and talk shit about anyway. And it's not easy. It's the same sort of situation with sex work and things like that. People, if you look at it on the surface, you're like, yeah, that's just easy money. Like, and a lot of them are like, man, I'd have sex for free. I'm sure you would, which is why no one's paying. Like, you can't even give that shit away. You have to pay people to give you sex. But like, no one thinks about the sort of psychological or emotional toll that it takes on people, and the pressure of just constantly being on, not being allowed to take a real break. And oftentimes when we take a break, what we end up doing is the same thing that we would be doing on stream, except we're not making money off of it. And then it just kind of feels weird. It feels like, even in my downtime, I feel guilty, first of all. And this is what I've been saying from the beginning. Like, I feel guilty for taking time off because I'm not moving forward. I'm not pushing. But beyond that, like, I feel like I'm essentially just wasting time. And cheating myself and cheating everyone who does want to to hang out with me and just spend time with me. Yeah, and I mean, obviously the perception there is like, oh, well, why? Like, how hard can it be? Because people work hard all the time. People in every field, people work hard, and you know, they don't even get paid millions of dollars. They just go to work, bust ass, and then come home exhausted too. Like, you know, what's the difference there, really? But then they don't take into consideration at all how freeing it is to just the difference in like a 9 to 5 and just having that sort of normal existence. And trust me, like, I make more now than I did when I was busting ass at any other normal job that I've had. It's still not a lot. It's still not a lot. I make an okay amount, a decent amount monthly. But just the sort of the amount of time that I actually am feeling like I'm working is substantially more than just 8 hours. Eight hours a day would be like a joke. I am always on. And it got to the point where like I literally I don't exist outside of Eros anymore. I completely just ditched everything. Everything and everyone. I just ditched it. And no one told me to do that. That's a choice that I made. So obviously I'm just gonna, like, I just have to deal with the consequences of that. But it has certainly helped career-wise, to where I feel like I'm certainly more successful now than I would have been if I hadn't done that. So even though no one told me that I had to do that, I did it, and I am better off for it career-wise. So given the choice, I would do it again. But it's still draining. It's still a lot. And the people that are like, you shouldn't do that though. You shouldn't do that at all. Why not just undo that and go back to having a normal life? Because I like the success, the mediocre amount of success that I have. Oh my God, what's up? The mediocre degree of success that I have achieved, I enjoy. I like it, and I want to keep growing. So I keep needing to make more sacrifices. I feel. Oh well, I'll just do it and put up with it, and you know, every now and again I'll just need to vent about it, I guess. It's a hell of a life, though. Yeah, Cookie, exactly. More freedom doesn't mean less work. It means that your success is directly tied to your own effort, 100%. Whereas, like, you go to a job, you can half-ass it 95% of the time. and it won't impact you at all. Like, you're still getting paid the same amount. So, I mean, in that case, a lot of people are of the mindset, why not half-ass it then? And I can't say I fault them. I've never been that type of person, though. And if my success is directly linked to my own effort, then I'm going to give it all of the effort. And so when people are like, you should take a break, you're telling me that I shouldn't put in as much effort. And if I put in less effort, then I'm less successful. And I hope you can understand why I don't want to do that. But yeah, I do end up frustrated as a result. So it's just going to happen, I guess. Why don't you just make less money? Because I need money. Living alone is expensive. Fuck, man. Just living, period, is expensive anymore. I mean, I understand. I know the comments come from a place of genuine care and concern. But yeah, it's very much like I want to say that other content creators and other, you know, like girls with OnlyFans and so on and so forth, like they understand exactly the sort of predicament where, like, if you don't hustle, you don't succeed. And it's very much a feeling like most people probably don't understand or can't appreciate or don't. I don't want to say don't care, because clearly people do care. But they don't see it the same way because it's not their mindset. They you know, it's not what they do. Open up. Why is there... I can't loot that? Oh man. Bulletproof glass. It takes so long. Ah, hey. Unlocked. Unlocked door. We like those. Fuck you. Fuck you. Whoa. Chill, bean. That door's locked, but it's open, so... Nice. I just can't close it again. Yeah, that sort of content creator burnout. And it's a real thing, big deal, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of it. And then you sort of couple that with the fact that with the Twitch hack that came out, where all, like, everyone's streamer numbers were exposed, like their earnings were exposed. And then you look at it and, like, out of the crazy number of people that stream every single day, only a 1,000, like the top 1,000 content creators, were making more than the average US income. Granted, like the top of the top were making way more than the average US income. But, like, you think streaming 25/8, you're just playing video games all day, you're not doing anything, you're It's actually a lot, because it's not, you're not selling games. You're not selling playing games. You're selling yourself. You're selling the interactions that people have with you. Like, that's the content. You are the content. And if you're not fun and engaging and interactive, or, you know, you don't have something that people are willing to pay for to sort of be a part of, then you make nothing. You're streaming all day for nothing. Maybe one or two chatters in the room. And that's the standard Twitch streaming experience. Yeah, what the fuck, buddy? Can't lock this damn door. But yeah, I mean, you're essentially just streaming to no one. No one's interacting with you. No one, you get no money. I don't know. But yeah, like one of my, I wouldn't call him a buddy, because I don't really like him. This guy that I used to play games with was, he streams all the time. And has for years, like well before I even started. And, I mean, he was averaging two people in his chat rooms, and I'm sure one of them was him. In his stream chat, like 2 viewers, and yeah, I got all these. He makes nothing. And even me, like, I get maybe 20 to 30 viewers on average. And I don't make anything off of Twitch. Twitch takes a big cut, first of all. Unless you're a big draw and you can negotiate to get either more than 50% of what they, like, the subs, or like some people have negotiated to get 100% of their actual, like, Twitch income directly to them. Twitch gets no cut of that. But what Twitch does get from that is that person, that draw. So they're willing to do it. But yeah. I hear you. Where are you? You in here? Up there? He dodged at the last second. Yeah, the competition for eyeballs is fierce. And you have to think, like, even if you bring people to the platform, are you bringing them and they are going to just continue watching just you all the time? Or are they going to, you know, eventually or inevitably sort of branch out and start looking for other? Because, like, there's a overwhelming demand for, I mean, people as content, streamers as content. And there are people that just, they don't have anything to do, or they just constantly want some sort of background noise, which is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's also a big pressure on creators, and a lot of people. Like, I get these comments too. It's like, if I don't stream, or if I don't do anything on the Discord, or if I don't make a TikTok for a day or two, you know, I get tons of, where were you? You know, where was my content? Where was my free content? And it's like, it's taking a break, man. I took a day off. But there's very little consideration for that, I think, from some people. Because what matters to some people is just the fact that they get their content. And many of them aren't even like paying for that content. It's just free content. When the content's free, I think a lot of people don't care about how they're actually treating the person that's giving them that content. They just constantly, they have their hands out. They're like, give me my fix. And it is literally our jobs to oblige. And I've read some stuff too, where this type of job, it's customer service. It's actually a customer service job, which makes sense because I was in customer service for a long time. And it's, you know, it's in many ways like a call center job, which makes sense because I was in call centers a lot too. But instead of like trying to sell them something, in terms of someone else's product, what you're selling them is you. But also you're constantly sort of being the emotional sponge. You're everything and anything is a topic of discussion that like you have to talk to people about, because they won't allow you to have things that, even if it makes you uncomfortable, a lot of people won't allow you to even have that boundary. They won't allow you to not talk about something that makes you uncomfortable, because if they want to talk about it, then that's all they care about. They want to talk about it. They don't give a fuck if you don't. I don't know. People get really, really strange when they feel like because you're a content creator, you owe them something. You know? I don't really have any time to do anything here. What can I do? Make the house bigger. Oh, wow, there's a lot of fucking zombies just chilling out here. Oops. Miss. Miss again. Gotcha. It's a rock. There's a fundamental feeling of like being owed something, because a content creator is supposed to be nice and supposed to indulge people in every little thing that they want out of them, so they feel confident that they can ask you, or they can ask things of you or say things to you that, first of all, they would never in their wildest dreams do that to anyone in real life. But they feel safe because you're in a position where either you respond and you give them what they want, or you look like an asshole and they can tell everyone how much of an asshole you are, and then you lose. You know? So they put you in these no-win situations knowingly. They do it on purpose. And there are so many people that love to play that game. And it really is just a sort of gotcha situation where they know that no matter what you do in response to their actions, that you lose. And they don't care about putting you in that situation. They don't care how shitty it is that they're doing that. And in fact, they take some shitty little glee out of doing that to people, because, you know, obviously they got not a whole lot going for them, and it's on their agenda to, one, make people as miserable as they are, and two, try to play a little power manipulation game with someone that they feel has more power than they do. And yeah, I mean, it's literally just them being manipulative shits. And unhappy as fuck, obviously, with numerous problems in their personal lives that rather than addressing them, they go online and they make other people miserable too. And I know what immediately comes to mind is like, oh yeah, teenage boys in like video game lobbies. And I am not talking about teenage boys in video game lobbies, because the reality is, guess what? There are a lot of fucking women in this content sphere that are very manipulative, and they understand one fundamental truth of existing on the internet now is that it's not effective to hurt people or try and sort of exert any sort of control or pressure on them by threatening physical violence. It's just not effective anymore. What is effective is hurting someone's reputation. And no one is better at hurting a person's reputation than someone who claims that they have been in some way victimized. And if someone refuses to interact with you in the way that you want them to, then you can say that you are being victimized by that person. And I get a lot of that. It remains obviously pathetic. It's sad, but it also remains something very emotionally taxing and difficult to deal with. It's a constant drain on my mental health, and just it takes the wind out of my sails, where like I'll finally feel like I'm doing good, I'm you know, making everyone happy, and then, you know, just out of nowhere these people come back, and then they do what they do. They make people miserable. They just spread that sort of bullshit around. And yeah, it is absolutely them viewing content creators as, first of all, just content. and disposable and consumable. So they take what they want, and then they just destroy them and move on. You know? And it's not enough for them to just move on. They have to destroy them. Or do whatever they can to sort of enact that sort of bullshit change. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. This has been going on since last year, since over a year ago. And what's great is that some of the main perpetrators of this bullshit, they come back later. They come back later and they're like, hey, they try to be all friendly, as if they didn't try to literally just completely fuck my career. They come back later and they're like, hey, no one does it like you do, and I'm trying to check in on you and make sure you're good. Hope you've been well, blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't feel like I hold grudges, but I also don't give people that second chance. If you tried to fuck me over to that degree and failed, you will never get a second chance. You'll never get another chance to fuck me over. And I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm not going to hold anything against you. I'm just also not going to think about you. And I'm never going to let you back in. And it's like, hey, no, there are no other voice actors that do it like you. And I'm like, I know. And I could have told you that from the beginning. But like, that's not my problem. You tried to sink my ship. Why would I let you back on? Because you want my content again? You had access and you fucked it up for yourself. But anyway, it is mod game night time. So let's do that. Let me put a marker here. There. I'm going to run an ad really quick. If you are not subbed to the channel, you'll get like a quick 30-second ad. You don't have to watch it, but I'll be right back.